I'd like to ask about your father's relationship with Israel. He's taken over $230 million from pro-Israel groups. During the summer against Iran, even though he advised against it, Israel still attacked Iran, and the U.S. still bombed on behalf of Israel. Your father's frustrations with Netanyahu have been made clear when he cursed on national TV over the situation. Israel has not been a great ally to the U.S. all the way since 1960 when they bombed the USS Liberty. Israel is a nation where Christians are constantly under attack in both Gaza and the West Bank. We talk about America first and defending Christians, but how can we do this if we align ourselves with a nation that does not do that itself?
There's no question my father's had frustration. In fact, I think he's had frustration throughout the whole conflict with both sides. At the same time,
in response to the nukes from Iran, Israel has nuclear weapons and is not a part of the IAEA, unlike Iran. And it's just sad to see because I've never seen the American president get treated the way he does by the Israeli government.
Hello, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahawashai, Bahashim Bakakodash, double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach, and Ruel. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. Right, I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. As always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. All right, this is going to be an in transit. I don't have a name for it at the moment, but Lord's will at the end of all this, right before I post it, I have a fitting name for a fitting title. Alright, the Water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh for inspiring me for this lesson, man. I was just, going through some shorts, watching some lessons, and I came across this YouTube short, man. And it's beautiful because, Esau's crying like a bitch right now that he's being used by other Edomites of their top tribe, right? Those Amalekites, so-called Jews, right? So-called Israelis. 1948 is a tiny hats, as we've been calling them as of late, man. It's beautiful to see this destruction, this circling of the drain of Babylon, if you will, man, along with, the confederacy that he has, not only with Amalek, but with all these other nations too, you know what I mean? And their power, their infrastructure that they've had over the children of Israel is coming to an end. You know what I mean? Here in Babylon and abroad, man, worldwide, What was I gonna say? This kid, I don't know this guy's name. They didn't really put his name up there, but it don't even really matter. Just call him Little Esau. Little Esau over here crying to his peoples about which are the children of Nero, man, the king of Babylon, Trumpito. All right, they're I believe those are the kids, Trump's kids, the oldest one. In this quick little short, the young Edomites talking about is mentioning different things. He mentioned the relationship that they have, that Babylon has with Israel, how it has been taking tiny hat money for decades, man. The lobbies and all these different groups, man, that lobby on behalf of Israel towards Babylon, man. He mentioned how because basically the U.S. advises or they say that they do on TV, but they do what the fuck they want, these Israelis, man, these small hats, man, because U.S. we all know that the U.S. advises, counsels Israel in combat and war or whatever, even though they're like military ready, but if it wasn't for Babylon, that place would have been erased off the earth, you know what I mean, from the face of the earth, man, of the planet. So the U.S. advises these motherfuckers, but they don't take Well, maybe they do. Maybe they do consider whatever benefits them, man. But they do what the fuck they want at the end of the day, yo. And Esau over here could, or the West Coast or West Hemisphere, Western Hemisphere Esau could complain all he wants, but Eastern Hemisphere Esau's gonna do and say what the fuck he wants when he wants to do. Especially these Amalekites, man. They're the top tribe, man. These people are prophesied to do these things, man, and to be, you know, the top tribe of the wicked lineage of the Edomites, man. All right. He also mentioned how here in Babylon, you know what I'm saying, Edomite Christians are protected, but over there in Tiny Hat Land, they're attacked. You know what I mean? They're attacked and alienated and discriminated against and all this, and you know, here it is. All these people are supposed to be God-fearing, man, but they're on each other about it. He also mentioned damn, what was it? All I know is that it was something along the lines, because Babylonians are aware that the tiny hats don't care about their interests, man. For example, you know, such as Christianity. You know, you got a lot of Christians that go over there and get discriminated, attacked, you know, beat up, kicked, spit on, or spat on, as they say. You know, all types of shit. I saw a Jake lady get puked on purposely. Like, the dude made himself puke, and as the motherfucker is puking, he's making sure it lands all on the Jake lady. And the Jake lady was an older lady. She's like visiting out there or something, and they were like in a little restaurant enjoying some beverages, like right outside of the restaurant on some type of, like, you know, patio type of thing. And disgusting, man. But this is how Esau treats his own. How much more he's gonna treat you? You know what I'm saying? It makes perfect sense, even though it's disgusting. But it still makes sense that he did it, because he's the wicked, man. You know. Yeah, well, you know, and then you got these Babylonians talking about America first, and they protect Christians or whatever. But you know, they're saddened, man. They're saddened that their King Nero, Trumpito, the Orange Agent, man, that motherfucker is getting treated like a bitch in his own house, man, and in the world. All right, he's supposed to be this big bad and tough guy around the world, right? And he's getting treated like he ain't shit, like he hasn't been putting all this evil work for centuries, man. You know what I'm saying? And then these Amalekites come out the blue and be like, all right, we're overriding everything, we running everything. Because essentially that's what's going on, man. This is their plan all along. It's just the transition is a little difficult, you know what I mean, for them and stuff, you know. But you know, they know that they got to do these things, man. They know that their time is short. You see how they squirming and running all around like chickens with no heads on, man, after the Lord allowed them to see a few things out there in so-called space, man. All right, so it's beautiful to see, man, that Babylon is losing its grip, has been losing its grip, but is losing its grip more and more. And the Lord is showing you that live and direct, man. You know what I'm saying? Through social medias, to the TV. You know what I mean? And you just got to pay attention to see these things. You know, at the end, you know, he had mentioned how something along the lines of how you know, these other countries basically don't look at Babylon the same. And as a matter of fact, these other countries, these little smaller countries now have nuclear capability, man, and they're noticing how the division between the Babylonians here in the Western Hemisphere and those Amalekites over there, man. You know, they see the power struggle. They see the blatant disregard for, you know, whatever Babylon has to say about any affairs that you know have to do with these small hats. But you know, they do whatever the fuck they want here and abroad, in their land and even here in Babylon. So it's beautiful to see this whole thing going down. Let's get some scriptures. close out. This is the book of Isaiah 14, and I'll start at 10. It says, all they speak... Oh, Salakia. Let me just pull over right here and do this right quick. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, right? Their pride, man, you know, and their arrogancy, man, is being brought down to the grave, man. Okay, a lot of these fucking Edomites is dying from all types of shit, you know, all types of problems, you know, problems with medications that they call man, what is it they call them? Man, not pandemics, but man, I forget it. But they giving it a different word, and when crack, there we go, the epidemic. When the crack epidemic happened, they wasn't calling it the crack epidemic. You know what I'm saying? And they would, or maybe they will once in the blue, but they would attack and call out Jake as if, like, you know, just say no to drugs type shit. And then look at them now. You know what I'm saying? 30, 40 years later, look at the conditions that the Lord has these Edomites in, man. You know what I'm saying? All fucked up. The point is, 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven? Right? How are you falling from this your kingdom, basically? O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? Right? Lucifer, because he was a light bearer, right? On the left hand side. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers is illuminated, but on the left-hand side. That's why all their thoughts is always evil and wicked. And as the scripture says, the Lord is it's not found in any of their thoughts, roughly paraphrasing, man. These people have no fear of the Lord, and they do what the fuck they want, you know what I'm saying, without any type of repercussions. And they actually think that because of all that, they believe that lie, and they think that nothing's ever going to happen to them. But the Lord, I'm reading to you what the Lord has planned for them, man. All right. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Right. You know, you can't sell no petroleum. You can't buy no petroleum, or you couldn't buy no petroleum for the longest without using the dollar. That's how America had its grip on the world, or one of the ways America had its grip on the world. Besides sending jackals and totally tumbling fucking economies and setting up puppet government officials or whatever, government actors, and just controlling that country and raping the resources from them. You know, that's what they do. That's what they've been doing for the longest, with no type of reparations, no type of repercussions, no oversight, none of that. And these niggas really think that they're gonna just, you know, that their kingdom is gonna last forever, basically, right? As it says in Malachi, man, that their houses shall be forever, man. And no, man, you see right here is you being brought down in the scripture. Verse 13 says, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. And they did, right? They went up there to the stars, right? They can't pass that Van Allen belt, but they up there. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, right? You got their space station, you know what I'm saying? And all the other Edomite countries that are also down with them, including the Moabites and the Ammonites and whoever else is up there that doesn't look Edomite-ish. But Edomites run that whole shit, because this motherfucker has sowed his seed in every nation, man. You know. How art thou cut down to the ground, which this weaken the nations, man? For thou hast said that in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregations in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Now, who goes around earth, right? Or who in earth with a process of elimination, who around earth fits these descriptions, man? If there was anybody, who does this sound like, man? You got to ask yourself this question, because if you don't believe when we tell you that Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and the wicked that the earth was given to, then who do you believe it is? Who's going around doing these things, man? And being arrogant and proud about it, man. Verse 15, it says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. The Lord is going to bring you all the way down, man. They that see thee, and this is the point, shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdom, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, right? With his fucking bombs, his nuclear and hydrogen bombs that wasted whole regions and shit, They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and that did shake the kingdoms? Because it's going to be hard to tell. It's going to be like, damn, I can't believe this is the dude that did all this, And now look at him. That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. Babylon has the most prisons and the most prisoners in the planet, man, and still uses solitary confinement, which I have no doubt that other fucking nations that say that they banned it, they probably use it too for their worst enemy, their worst peoples or whatever, or even whatever. The point is, this is what Esau does. He puts you in there so you could so-called rehabilitate yourself, but he makes you worse. He helps and aids to make you worse in there, man. He loves this hell condition, man. That's why the Lord is returning that shit right back to him. Let me see. This is the book of Jeremiah 51:9. It says, we will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. This is scriptures that says that her sins have reached the clouds. It's pierced the clouds, man. Her iniquities, man. The sins on top of sins on top of sins, man. Like if there was a line going up from the ground here in the middle of Babylon all the way to the sky, this shit will go those so-called light years that this motherfucker be talking about, that Esau be talking about. Swears that they're, with pseudoscience and shit. That line will go straight up, straight to the spirit world, man. Or pass it. We will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. This is a wrap for Babylon, man. And people are going to forsake her, because when the Lord destroyed this motherfucker, man, the scriptures speak about how the merchants that was getting money over here are going to see the smoke, the columns of smoke, maybe hundreds and hundreds of miles, if not thousands of miles from the fucking shores of Babylon, and still be able to see that smoke. That's how bad it's going to be. That smoke, I think the whole earth is going to be smelling the smell of smoke in the air for some time, man. That shit is going to spread all over, man. It's not going to be, I'm not trying to say that it's going to be thick, and I'm speaking as a man, but I really do believe that smell is going to be in the air. It's going to be a reminder, man, to the whole fucking planet what just happened, This is the book of Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken, right? Like the other scripture said, that made all the earth weaken. You know what I mean? Because they would the Lord propped them up, brought them up to that point. They were so powerful that they were able to subdue the earth, man, and bring everybody down to their knees, basically, man. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken, right? With their philosophy, democracy, all their bullshit, right? All their wickedness. The nations have drunken off her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, because this democracy and shit that's been going on since the Romans' time, and look at all the fucking problems around the earth that all these other fucking nations have adopted those so-called democracy philosophies and everything else that comes with it. And all it did was disrupt the normal cycle of all these different nations, and it interrupted their belief system and whatnot, man. And it got to the point now where everything's completely out of order. Esau's just extorting all these nations, telling them what the fuck to do, and bombing them and killing and setting up his another base over it and just running shit and just has the whole planet in disarray, man. The scriptures speak about how everything's out of course, man. The earth is out of course, you know? And you could tell who's the one pushing that backwardness, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why they was getting fucking kicked out and supposedly cooked up in them little easy baker ovens, man, with mustache man, because all the wickedness that these people were up to, man. You know, starting with the Amalekites, but Esau, it's in there. Homosexuality and all this weird shit is normal to these people, man. It's in their nature. That's what I wanted to say. It's in their nature. You know, even back then in the Roman time, they used to do, you know, the military dudes from the Roman times, they used to deal with children, man, because their women supposedly were unclean. I mean, I could just imagine the foul smell coming out from their fucking crotch and they nasty, disgusting ass, you know. But you know, their solution was to deal with children. Only devils, only a demon would see that as some type of solution, man. You know. Let's get these last couple scriptures. Jeremiah 50. Let's go back to 51 because I skipped a verse. Verse 8, I believe it was. Oh yeah, verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed, right? But the scripture says that she's not healed, man. There's nothing that Babylon, this place is destined to be completely annihilated, completely destroyed, man. You know what I mean? Completely done away with, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we can't wait. But the point is that it's destined. It's already destroyed, man. We just gotta wait for that time, basically, man. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Verse 9, I think. We would have healed. No, Salakia. That was the verse that I was supposed to read before verse 9. Yeah, Salakia. It was supposed to be verse 8 and 9, and I read it backwards. You know what I mean? Because I got confused over here while I was driving. But I hope that, you know, that didn't confuse anyone. Let me see. Where do we go now? Right, because Babylon is, I want to go to Jeremiah 50 and the last two verses, 45 and 46, and we'll close out. Because like I said, man, you know, Babylon is destined to be done away with, completely destroyed, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't believe that, and that's fine, you know what I mean? This truth ain't for everybody, you know? If this resonates with you, then yeah, you look more into it, you know what I'm saying? But this is not for everybody, but we're totally convinced that this place is done, that this place is Babylon, and it is definitely destined, prophesied to be destroyed, man. This is Jeremiah 50 and 45. It says, "Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh, that he has taken against Babylon, and has proposes Salakia. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh, that he has taken against Babylon, and his purposes, that he has proposed against the land of the Chaldeans," right? Which is here. It's talking about here in Babylon, right? Here in the United States. "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them," right? Because these Amalekites, right? This is how the Lord is taking these motherfuckers down. They let Babylon do everything that they had to do. Amalek do everything that they had to do, only to use both of them to destroy themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what the Lord is doing to them, man. Using one to draw in the other, so both of them could be destroyed. You know, because the scriptures speak about this evil thought that's going to basically come upon the minds of his the ones that were confederate with him and allied with him, as the book of Psalms say that they were allied. You know what I mean? And you can see that now because they have NATO. You know, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, I think it's called. I forget, but it's their clique, these different nations, man. And the Lord is gonna put evil thought in these nations to destroy Babylon and Amalek, man. 46. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. Right? You know, the merchants that came close to her and saw the fire and the smoke. You know what I mean? And we're crying and weeping, and sighing, and maybe even fucking hollering, man, because no more can they get money from Babylon, man, and especially you Jakes, man, Israelites, man. You know how much money they've been making out of us, exploiting us. All these different nations, they know this is where the money's at. Wherever the sons of Israel is, that nation does well for itself as far as financially, man. In the process of fucking us over all the time. But I pray that this lesson was edifying. It's a wrap for Babylon. More and more lessons are coming out about this, about how that's proven. That it's over. You know what I mean, for Babylon, man. So koholo Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for that, man. Just keep your eyes peeled, man, because these things are happening fast, man, and that prophecy of this place being destroyed is very, very near, man. So we can't sleep. We can't feel like everything is taking time or is kind of slow or get settled in our leads, man. We have to hold fast to what we have and haste in the day of the Lord, man, because it is coming. Even though it seems like it's delaying, things are working, things are happening that are building up to that standard being lifted up, and then the Lord coming in and saving and redeeming his people, man. So I pray this lesson was edifying. In closing, I want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahava Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles, salutations to the brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out and always to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn, the rest of the hopeful elect. To you all I say Shalom, Ababa Bor, and Kwam Yasharallah.